There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen, is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more, and the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another big edition of Talking Trots here on the Tab Radio podcast. And great to have your company for tonight, a big show. We're going to preview the Pearl, $100,000 for the two-year-old boys at Group 2 level, and the owner of the favourite, Kevin Jeavons. I speak of Waverider, who's going to join us, and tell you what, he knows how to find a good horse, Kev. He
certainly does.
Sharky, Shockwave, Swing Band, and Waverider joins a list of very good horses that Kevin has owned, and we'll talk to Kevin in not too distant future. But as I welcome in Glen Mortimer to the program, I thought we were in a bit of trouble. On Sunday, I received a message from Eddie Birchall, and it was a video message of our main man, Hayden King, with his arm in a sling, and I thought, well, we can't press the buttons. We don't know what's going on.
No,
we could be in trouble here.
Had his wing clipped.
Oh, he got here. His car was here. I thought that's a good sign.
Yes. Must be automatic.
But you've got your arm in the sling, Hayden. What's happened?
Yeah, well, there was... How do I describe him? It was
not like you did earlier on.
He was an uncouth gentleman who bumped me quite heavily.
Yeah.
In a game of football.
Yeah.
He lined you up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then he had some...
what did your coach say? The great Michael Young. The very powerful Michael
He wasn't
Young.
there to help me, put it that way.
Right.
He doesn't venture very far, if at all, out of the goal square, Michael. I was running rings around them, and they had to take me out because I was the big threat. So, yeah, he didn't have very nice things to say about me after he laid the bump either. The gentleman. So
you got one arm. You okay?
Yeah, I've got one functional arm. Got two functional legs.
That's all you need.
Let's hope you don't need your legs tonight.
No.
Okay. Dislocated shoulder, but we press on, Morts.
Inspector Radley, good
Yes.
to be here as always. Tough night on the punt last week with Bomber down 7 units and no joy with the multi.
Well, you know why.
Yeah.
The last race. We'll talk to you about that later.
And then Hayden had a wipe at Northam and a Black Rock was scratched at Pinjarra, so saved some money there. Big night last Friday night at Gloucester Park and a late night at Gloucester Park as well. But some drive by Chris Lewis on She's Our Hope in the first, all the way win. Really like that drive. Well rated. In the second, once Armour X Factor strolled to the front, that was all over. Master Publisher, 34.4 lead time, and still had enough to hang on, and they came home in 56.9.
Yep.
Goodfellas got no favours, but still too good, very impressive. Chris Lewis is driving in exceptionally good form right at the moment, Michael.
And bearing down on 6,000 winners within 20. Like 6,000, like within 20. So the HRA numbers are actually wrong. So Alan Parker's got the numbers for us, and he's within 20. So
and that won't take long the way he was driving. He was in outstanding form.
Yeah.
Not just winning, but how he's been winning and how he's been rating them. Waterloo now 7 out of 7. Great drive, Shannon Svelko. In front. Geez, a hard driver to get past in front. And nice drive, Kyle Symington on Hillview Bondi, rolled along and got the cash. 155.6 for the 17.30. And the picket fence continues for Rolling Fire with the great drive by...
They all jumped off, Morts.
Gary, well...
They all jumped off.
If they need a loan, come and see me. So, GP Friday night, Gary Hall Sr. A double and Kevin Keys a double. Gary Hall Jr. a treble, Chris Lewis a great double, Shannon Svelko a double. Saturday at Northam, my man Trent Wheeler got another double, no surprises there. Kyle Harper got a double. Monday at Pinjarra, a double to Dylan Edgerton Green training. Driving doubles to Aidan Warwick, Dylan Edgerton Green and Denny Roberts. And Tuesday at Narrogin, been such a big week, Gary Hall Jr. had a double, and the man with the pink cart, Christopher Voke, had a treble. So big week in harness racing,
Good to
Michael.
see Chris, because he was indisposed on the Monday, so good to see him bounce back at Narrogin.
Got a treble, which was great.
Narrogin on the Tuesday. All right, that was a big week in harness racing, but Friday night we got the 2-year-old Pearl for the boys, and Waverider, drawn 1, is the favourite. We heard his heat last week on the show, but let's go back to the start of the year, and it was looked like a red-hot Sales Classic final. It was the rerun, but I tell you what, Waverider made a one-act affair. Let's listen to Waverider winning the Sales Classic.
1 Blaze Away's 4 deep. Going roughly, galloping there was 10 to the dozen. Checked was Madam Sharp. Into the straight, it's all Waverider. Set sail for home, Waverider. He's 4 in front. Blaze Away's running on out the centre of the track. Grever sticks on. Soho go forward. Waverider bolts in. Waverider, a big winner over Blaze Away. Grever.
Yeah, he certainly was, and he's going to race a similar field on tomorrow night, but it's a privilege for me to introduce his owner to the show in Kevin Jeavons. Kevin, welcome to the program.
Good evening, Mike and Glenn. How are you doing?
Yeah, you sound a bit rusty. You're battling a bit of a cold, are you?
Getting old, mate. A bit quirky, yeah.
Actually, I'm sure he probably sounded like you did on Saturday morning, Michael.
Yeah, no, we cheered on Friday night. Yes. But you'll have something to cheer. Kevin, this horse is just, even since his first trial, he's looked like he was going to be an outstanding racehorse, and now he's made it 4 from 4 going into a Group 2.
Yeah, he's done very well, Michael. He hasn't had a lot of starts, but he's what he does easy and pretty well.
Yeah, you bought him out of the sale, down by the seaside. What'd you like about him?
We like the look of him, mate. We went and saw him at the farm on an unofficial one, and both myself and Riley struck us as soon as he came out of the paddock, how good a looking horse he was. He's probably a little bit taller than we normally buy, but he's very athletic.
Kevin, the horses that you buy, you actually select and you go and have a look at yourself. I mean, you don't just leave it up to a trainer, and you've got an outstanding trainer, in the likes of Ryan Bell. Would you actually go and do all the work yourself?
I'll have a look at them, yeah. We do it together. I mean, It's like a lawyer who defends himself's a fool, and an owner who buys his own horses is probably a fool too. Ryan does a lot of work on them, and then I usually go out and look at them, and by the time the sale comes round, we've worked out which ones we want. But he does put a lot of work in, as I do too. You've got to go and see him a bit early. Yeah,
no, it's good, and your record is outstanding, so I wouldn't be changing a thing, and. You've got a beautiful draw on Friday night with Waverider. Come up with the pole, but it is a very good field, Kevin.
It's an excellent field. There's quite a few who are very good, and in fact, some of them have had probably double the starts we've had, so they're probably a little bit harder. But our bloke's probably going to come up pretty good. He's been set for this race, and Ryan usually gets them pretty right.
He certainly does. There are some very nice horses off the front row over the 2130. You just expect he would get to the front and increase his position?
I think so. Look, he's very fast out. It depends on. I mean, I'm sure we'll probably get tested, but if you draw one, you've got to put up with that, don't you?
Yeah,
it's a good problem to have, Kevin. Yeah,
you sure do. Yeah. You'd rather be there than drawn out wide. But you've changed a little bit of the way that you buy horses. Kevin used to be a big importer from New Zealand, but most of your success in the last 5 or 6 years has come from the local sale through, Shockwave and Swing Band and those type of horses, and now Waverider.
Yeah, well, there's obviously benefits there here, and you also have the bonuses, Westbred or the double Westbred. So we have bought a couple from New Zealand, but, certainly cut right back, yeah.
Yeah, and
they're too dear. They're too dear for New Zealand, Michael.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
They are now. They're just.
Yeah, they never used to be, but
No.
They're paying overs now, and the cost to get them here is pretty expensive. So
yeah, and the
having said that, I just bought one recently. But you'd be a bit worried. It's a 3-year-old, boys. So
Yeah.
I'm just looking never ending and rolling style, wondering whether we can beat them.
Well, it's a tough year to come over. I've got to tell you,
It is,
Kevin.
we
But,
didn't buy them to win the Derby. It's all right.
yeah, well, but it's amazing because going back probably 4, 5, 6 years, the local horses didn't really have a chance in the Derby, and now we're saying, well, if you want to come over and test us, good luck to you, because it's sort of the breed has really improved, hasn't it?
Definitely. The what's at the sale now is at least 60% of top quality.
Yeah.
So you don't go wrong at the sale if you as long as you don't go silly.
No. Now,
just the difference in, and Kevin would know this better than anybody, but the difference in buying a horse from New Zealand is just dramatic change over the last 4 or 5 years, Kevin. The price is not doubled, it's almost trebled, to the point of it's just cost prohibitive.
It is. The average, if it's a 2-year-old, they want 200, and if it's a 3-year-old, they want 150, and I've only won a couple of races, so I just find it all gets too hard.
yeah. No,
I know people are still buying them from there, but you can't be paying the big money. I mean, put it this way, if you pay too much, you're just buying a trophy, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's hard. Well, what did you pay for Rock and Roll Lincoln? You only paid
50,000 landed.
Yeah, well, see, you couldn't do that anymore, could you?
No,
Oh,
it's
it'd
not
be
possible.
120 now. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
No, a huge difference. But
Now let's talk. We heard during the week the Shockwaves is talking about locally bred and what done such a good job for you. And this is another way. Shockwave is by Mach 3, so getting the best size to our local bred mares, which has really made a massive difference. But what a great horse Shockwave has been. He's only had the 50 starts, but the 22 wins and well over $500,000 in prize money. He's had a setback, we heard this week from your trainer Ryan Bell.
Yeah, he had an accident, the Pearl, and he rolled over and jagged himself, and he's had to be treated with penicillin. He got an infection, so the pacing cup's out. So sadly, we don't have much luck with this horse the last couple of years. He's had 6 starts in 2 years, but I think we'll probably hopefully get him back, and if he's right, we'll set him for the $1 million race in April next year.
Yeah,
the Nullarbor.
Nullarbor, and then the Fremantle Cup after that.
Yeah, I think that's what we're aiming for now. We're not going to. I mean, he's amazing. The last time he came back this year, or middle of this year, he raced just as good as ever. So it doesn't seem to bother him after a time out. But it's also a credit to the trainer. He's put a lot of work in him.
Yeah, it's amazing because usually when horses come back after a long layoff, or an injury long layoff, they lose something, whether it's speed or that toughness. But he doesn't seem to have lost anything. Like he come back probably the best of his career almost.
I think he did. He was breezing and running 55 halves winning, so in those 2 or 3 starts. So, no, he's come back terrific then. But like all these war horses, he's been racing since too, so they do pick up a few niggles along the way.
Yeah, but like you said, the job that Ryan Bell's done with him to get him, not just to get him back to racing, but as Michael just said, to be able to get back and racing at that level's been an absolute credit to him, and his patience to nurse the horse to try and get him back to so we can all see his absolute best, because we know his absolute best is outstanding. So great job to Ryan Bell on the team.
Yeah. No, Ryan and his wife Tiffany, they love him and they've looked after him brilliantly, so I have no complaints whatsoever.
Swing Band, where's he at the moment, Kev?
Well, Swing Band, I've had a bit of a problem. Swing Band has a hairline fracture of the tibia about 8 weeks ago, so he won't be back in work for about another month.
Okay.
So he'll probably miss the 4-year races.
Oh, okay. That's a pity.
At the end of the year, he seems to find trouble too. I must have rolled and knocked himself. It's only a minor hairline, but all the vets' advice is 3 months minimum out. So he's probably got a month to go before he comes back in.
Yeah. Okay. And we don't like comparing horses, Kev, but Shockwave and Washaki, who do you think is your best horse?
Well, if you go on dollars, 1.8 million.
Yeah.
That's no contest.
Look, I wouldn't, but I think you got to. I mean, Washaki was a fantastic horse. He won 54 races, 53 races. He raced in North South Island, all over Australia. Never put a foot wrong until he got about 10, where he just started to get a few niggles when we retired him. But I can't compare them. They're just different. Yeah. Shockwave's probably faster, but Sharky was one tough old bugger. And
Shockwave's probably double the size of him as well.
Shockwave's a bigger horse, but Sharky was a beautiful going horse. But no, I don't like to compare them because they're not. You can't compare them. You know,
No.
Chucky's he won the Pacing Cup in 2010, so it's a long time between. But the best one's usually the current one because the other one's not.
141 starts, 53 wins, 1.8 million, and 5 Truer Memorials out of Bankstown.
5 in a row. Yeah.
It's a pretty good effort. And the other old fella you had too was Blazin and Cullen. He was a pretty handy one
Blazin
for
and
you.
Cullen and Montefiore, they raced in Sydney. They won. Blaze was 550 and Montefiore was 600, and they both made into Dominion and Miracle Mile finals. So they're a couple of really nice horses.
Which one beat which one won the Terror to Love horse? The Western Terror horse. Tearaway.
Oh, Tearaway. Tearaway
yeah.
won the big race in Queensland and also Cranbourne.
Cranbourne.
He beat Smoking Up in Brisbane, yeah.
Yeah, he beat Smoking Up in Brisbane, and he beat the Adam Hamilton's favourite horse in Victoria. He's $1.10. What was that horse's name? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember it now, but I remember you slinging off at Adam about it.
I wouldn't let him go.
No, he was a good horse, but he did break down.
Yeah, Scotty Stewart's horse.
Yeah, that's right. But Tearaway was a good horse, but unfortunately, big bloke, and he broke down.
Yeah, Bitter Bliss was the horse I'm talking about, Kev.
That's him.
They all kept on saying how good he was, and I said to him, "Wait till you run into Johnny McCarthy's horse."
Well, as you know, in Victoria, you win 10 races and you're a champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Kev, this year's sale, the one just gone, bought a colt out of Panorama Sunshine, one out of Premium Copper, and a filly out of another Cover Lover. Happy with your purchases? It was a good year. It was
we
big
are.
competition.
They weren't cheap, but they were all nice horses. And in fact, they're all due to come back to. They've had the Breaker twice, and they're due to come to Ryan's place start of September. And so far they're all broken well and had a second prep and going good.
Yeah, no, good. And was it the previous year you bought the Lavra Florence?
My son for a syndicate bought him. I'm in it, but that's one of my sons. But he's, I think he's got a little injury at the moment, so he's not in work.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Now we bought the other one we bought was Atlantic Gem. She was the sister to Swing Band. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's been tough the last couple of years, Kevin, trying to find horses out of the sales. It's been getting tougher and tougher.
Well, everybody wants the same horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is you've got that 6 or 10 and everybody's going for the 6 or 10. And then, of course, this year at the sale, we had a couple of bids start off at 100,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's supposed to get rid of everybody else, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know if it works, but...
No. Well,
I couldn't bring myself to do that. First bid 100, I couldn't do it.
No. And, it was... Because I said to because I was sitting next to Justin, and I said... I went up for 100. I said, "Can you believe this?" He went, "Yep, 110." So anyway, it's. I think they ended up both going for 140.
Yeah, it was an
to
interesting.
Cat Warwick and the team, which is hopefully.
And they were both outstanding types too. Actually, from memory.
One was the only Sweet Lou colt in the sale.
Yes.
And the other was the filly out of
Lavra Florence. Yeah.
The filly, she was outstanding.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't look at the colt much, but the filly was outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely was. It's just amazing how the Perth sales have changed over the last 4 or 5 years. The quality, as you said, just people wanting to buy because of the West bred, the double West bred, and the fact that in New Zealand the price is just ridiculous. That all of a sudden and there is some good quality stock too. It's great.
Yep, no, sure is.
It's just nice to get another 20 or 30 good qualities in the sale. I think they'll get there.
Yeah. It's increasing every year. The amount of horses that people want. Yeah. So
our main breeders are like there's 5 or 6 particularly more the professional ones, and they're doing a really good job.
Yeah, they are.
No. And it shows in your horses. Just looking at your breeders, like one was Trevor Lindsay, and one was the Charleses, and
Mike Howie.
Mike Howie, and you've obviously bought from Steve Johnson a fair bit. So
I have,
yeah. So those great. The breed is just it's just improved immensely, and now the breeding season coming now.
You've got to remember that it's also about how they've been brought up.
Yeah,
it's a big difference if you can get them home from the sale, and they've been well handled. It makes a big difference.
Yeah. Sure does.
Now, Kevin, you've been long associated with administration as well in harness racing, and you've decided not to contest the next Gloucester Park re-election, and you go to step down. You've been a long time on, first of all, the Fremantle Committee, and then part of the amalgamation of the WATA and the Fremantle Club, and in that time you're also on the member of the WAG, the industry group that was set up for the TAB when it first got floated that it could be sold. You're heavily involved in that. A tough decision to not go again?
Yeah, it is, but I just think it's have a little break, and leave it to the others. And who knows, they could always come back. But just a little break at the moment. Yeah, I just want to go to the Trots and enjoy racing the horses, mate.
How long
probably take the distractions out.
When did you start on the Fremantle Committee?
Well, when I started, I can't remember the exact date, but it's 23 years on both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Right, isn't it?
Yeah. You deserve a break. And in that time, like, plenty has changed, Kevin. Like the way that revenue and clubs get their money and survive, and the way that the industry survives. And you're obviously integral in that WAR group that got the Gunston report and also the needs report for the industry, which really set us up to know what our value was of the TAB.
Yeah, look, that was a big exercise, and we learnt what we didn't know. I mean, one of the problems we have in our business is we need the participants to understand better how the money comes in and what they've got to do. And what most of them still think it's just the TAB, and as you know, the tab just makes up a small proportion of the money we get Australia-wide. And, Michael, I don't need to tell you, but as you know, Gloucester Park holds about $3.5 million every Friday night. Yeah. So they better get with the game. That's what we have to promote, because that's the turnover, and that's what keeps us in the game. So, but, I know Ra are doing going out to the troops again in the next couple of months, and I think that's a good opportunity for them to probably bring the participants up to date with how the funding really works, as against just our local tab, which is now a good part of it, but not a big part.
No, it's about a third in realistic terms compared to what we get out of the corporate bookmakers in Racefields legislation, and also the POC, the pre-consumption tax, which has also changed. But it has changed, and you would have witnessed a fair bit of it, Kevin. And look, no one can blame you. And I think you should get out to the Trots every Friday night as you do, and enjoy your night rather than worrying about what needs to be done.
Well, as I say, I've enjoyed it, but just time for a break. Yeah. So we'll let fellas like you, Michael, and the rest of the committee do the job.
No, good on you, Kevin. Mate, really great talking to you. Good luck on Friday night. I know Kyle Jeavons and the team, your son, is going to bring out, I think they've got a team of 20 coming out to watch the horse. So,
good.
Yeah, so they've got a team coming out to watch it, because I think a few of them are really interested in it. So hopefully you can get the cash for them, and I'll have to get a bigger winners room. Because you're easy, Kev. You don't drink, so
I don't drink.
I don't mind when you win races. It doesn't cost me anything. I'm worried about Morts. When Morts win, that's an issue. That's a different story. So
I've got to keep Morts out of that room a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's costing, but I don't have to worry. I'm not in the committee soon, mate.
No.
So that's all right.
Go for your life,
yeah. Kevin, thanks for your time. Really great talking to you, and as I said, good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Glenn.
There we go, Kevin Jeavons. And I tell you what, he's been great for me to be on the committee. He's obviously, racing knowledge is outstanding, but his business acumen is second to none, and just he's so balanced. So
and sharp.
Yeah, when I
oh boy, is he sharp.
Sometimes you need a bit of a calming word, and
he's very sharp.
Yeah, he's the guy sort of very focused, but been great for harness racing in general. Like the amount of horses that he's top quality horses as well that people want to watch and bet on, that he's brought through and raced has been outstanding, and his love of the game is just second to none. And started the Owners Association. Didn't say that.
I didn't realise.
Yeah, he started the Owners Association, which is recognised as an eligible body by RAWA.
Yep.
And he still has some sort of a part to play in that, but he sort of stepped back as he's taken more of a role at Gloucester Park, and Glenn Moore and yourself and Albert Walmsley have stepped up, but Kevin was the driving force behind the Owners Association. He thought it was a need for the owners to have a voice, or more of a voice. certainly, throughout his both administration and racing. But yeah, for me, it's he's been really good to have on the committee.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be in some meetings when Kevin's been there, and he's very balanced view.
Yeah.
Understands.
Yep.
Really has a grasp on what's going on. Is really, really well balanced and extremely sharp. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Once the numbers come out, boy,
very good.
You're not getting past Kevin Jeavons, believe you me.
No.
So no, he's great and got a good understanding of the game and been a great supporter of harness racing and very lucky enough to have a terrific stable over the years. And just continues to just find good horses. Him and Ryan, they're a great combination. They don't miss too often. No. Got his budget, sticks to it.
I'm sure he adds more to the conversation than you and me to do with Justin.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be too hard, Michael. That would not be too hard.
Now, big news out of New South Wales and Victoria coming into the Eureka. Captain Ravishing, who was at one stage the dominant favourite of the Eureka. Well, I don't even think he's going to go around. So he's got a pace work on Saturday, but his trial was average to say the least on Wednesday morning, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was always going to be an issue first up into that race against that quality.
Yeah, I never liked the idea of going first up at that level.
Yeah.
Extremely well.
Yeah. So now I think before the field is finalised with emergencies, that he can pick one of the emergencies, whichever one he wants. But once they get slotted in, he has to take, if he doesn't pull it out.
Yep.
In that date, the slot holder has to take the first emergency. So they'll have to work it out pretty quick if they want to choose. Otherwise, it'll be in order. So, but yeah, it's intriguing.
It's a shame. I was looking forward to.
And the Singo was won by the 3-year-old.
Yep.
So there's 2 3-year-olds in there now, a mare, and the rest are 4-year-old Entice and Geldings. So, it's sort of changed dramatically. Going back sort of 3 months, we thought it was going to be the big 3, and now it's sort of Leap of Fame and Catch a Wave, and you got the Lost Storm, and a few others have put their hand up. But certainly going to be a great race next Saturday.
Barrier draw is going to make potentially a big difference to the outcome of the race, and of course you'll be there trackside to have a look.
Heading over. I've got a few other things to do over there,
very nice.
Got to call out and see it. So big news there, and Harness Racing Victoria announced how they're going to make this reduction of the $4 million in prize money. So it's across the board, and I think a couple of Breeders' Crown races got money taken off them and whatever else. But as far as prize money goes, WA is far and above somewhere like Victoria, pound for pound. I remember the Vic Cup used to be quite a prestigious, very high value race, but not anymore. But even going back 4 or 5 years, they're virtually 10 years. They're virtually racing for the same stakes. It hasn't gone up.
No, we're very lucky in WA. We don't realise how lucky we are.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right. Yep. Now we've spoken about the Derby, and before we get into the Pearl Classic, before we get into the Diamond Classic, Morts, this segment is brought to you by Loans 123. Car loans, debt consolidation, or your personal finance. Who do you see?
The great man, the nude nut, Steve Sell. Some people needed him last Friday.
Not us.
No.
And I'll tell you, not the Punters Club. And there was a Punters Club from Victoria that came over, and they wanted a night out. They're over in WA. They went to the races Saturday. They booked a function on Saturday night. And Simon Miller was part of it because he grew up with them. And one of my mates, Richard, who's part owner of Rolling Fire, grew up with them as well. And they won a stack. And it was all into Rolling Fire in the last, so they were real excited.
They enjoyed themselves. They were down their trackside, got a good picture there with Gary Hall Jr.
At the end.
But finished up in the winners' bar and just dominated the winners' bar. And,
well, we left.
Yeah, dominated. I hate to imagine what time they left there, but they had a good time, and you tipped them into a few winners, which was good, and then they cleaned up in the last with Rolling Fire.
And they were on Waterloo. But we've got to say, who do you see about all your personal finance? The nude nut?
The great man, Steve Sell.
Yeah. Loans123.com.au or
1-800-100-100.
Yeah, and they are still doing the things the banks can't.
Certainly are.
The great man knew not. Now, Waterloo.
$7.75 into rolling fire.
It was a good bet, Morts. It was a very good bet. Good on you for that. And Alan Parker and his the New Zealand newsletter obviously wrote up the story about that for the Gloucester Park review this week, and the heading was "Rivals Meet Their Waterloo," which he was very proud of.
Good.
It was very good. But how good was she?
Yeah.
Come across and then just gave nothing a chance. And I don't think he even pulled the plugs.
Shannon Svelka, we did say it earlier in the program, in front, very hard to beat. He's a good driver, Shannon.
7 from 7 now, I think, is it? For her?
Yes.
Yes, it's just, yeah, she's the dominant filly. And tell you what, and from the Sales Classic into the Pearl, Waverider looks like he's the number one colt at the moment. So coming into the Westbreds, which are going to be
big Westbred,
yeah, 225. So still few to come back. There's a few that missed the Pearl. We've got Blaze Away who ran second in the Sales Classic, who's not quite ready yet. Hopefully he's ready for the Westbred, and then we got the Golden Slipper to finish off. And horses like Vegas Strip will be in the Golden Slipper. Missed the Westbred, but he'll be in the Golden Slipper. So it'll be interesting to see.
Pretty handy.
He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. Bonnie could have 5 in the Golden Slipper with Vegas Strip and the others that are.
Yeah, just looking through the card on Friday night, he's got 4 in the Winter Cup. He's got 4 or 5 in the
strong hand.
Yeah,
well, he spent big at the APG sale that
absolutely.
year. And the top price one isn't even there.
Yeah,
but we know how good he is. He's
great bowler.
Yeah, he's potentially very good. So, they obviously have got out of that sale all the 4 colts they bought are looking pretty good.
Sure.
All right, but let's go to the break. And it was the Diamond Classic for the 2-year-old fillies. And once Waterloo crossed from the outside, the daughter of Sweet Lou was never, ever going to get beat.
Says Katie. Waterloo on the turn is leading a length. Miss Hepburn still sticking on. Coming to the outside as they swing. Waterloo from Miss Hepburn. They've come away from Exceptional Armour. I cross my heart the outside, but it's Waterloo down at the 50. Doing it well from Miss Hepburn. Waterloo all the way. Continues her unbeaten run. 7 in a row. All the way Waterloo. Miss Hepburn. I cross my heart.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Fellas from Cotton On, a length and a half then to See Ryan Fly. 2 lengths now to Rock and Roll Sass and Rockmeister from Special Lady. Goodfellas had run to the lead at the top of the straight. Cotton On's trying to respond, but Goodfellas are half over Cotton On. See Ryan Fly to the outside. Goodfellas, those come away a length to Cotton On, and Goodfellas has got the San Simeon. Goodfellas from See Ryan Fly.
Yeah, wasn't this a good performance in the San Simeon? Yeah.
Great performance.
Cotton On looked unders, especially the $1.32. I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but did look unders, but he went super.
Goodfellas, he tried to restrain back and get in and couldn't get in, so gone back around, and I thought it was a fantastic drive by Chris Lewis.
Yep. No, San Simeon, another one over for 2023, $50,000 for the San Simeon, and Goodfellas wins the San Simeon for 2023. All right, this segment is brought to you by Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work, and they're sold all over Australia, New Zealand, America.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere you look, they are a mark of true skill, Michael, designed for comfort, durability and choice, backed by a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee, and which is not required because they are just the most comfortable shoe that you can ever.
Yeah, don't need it. They're just you can't even wear them out. All right, let's say hello to our form expert Scott Bomber Hill. A bit of a tough week last week, Bomber.
Yeah, well, I did say to Morts last week we were sort of riding the wave, and it was a wipeout last week. Don't chat about that.
I think I made the comment you were riding it like Kelly Slater. You were going that well. I might have put the mocker on you, Bomber.
What's the opposite of that, Morts?
Anyway, we can bounce straight back though this week.
Let's do it.
And let's start. It's a 10 race card. at GP, and the first race is at 5:15, and the feature race is race number 5, the Hoist Talk Australia 2-year-old Pearl Classic for the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings, and it is a Group 2 event. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market for the race. We get a preview first, and it is race number 3, the HTA Reaching for the Top, and it's over 25.36. And as we have a look at the Tab Touch market, we got Blue Blazer at $26, One Smart Fella 13. Hillview Bondi looking to make a back-to-back wins at $2.25. Robbie Easton at $5.50. Getting Wiggy with at $12. Franco Weston $23. Trooping of the Colour at $31. Who's the Dad $3.50. And Cloud9 $5.50 outside the front. Bomber, what are we going for in race number 3?
Yeah, I thought Who's the Dad would just drop off the arm here, and there looks to be genuine tempo underneath over the longer trip, and I thought the inside 5 would all probably want to be part of the early action. So with a horse like Hillview Bondi looking to keep the tempo on over the longer trip, I thought he'd certainly get his chance out the back, and hopefully Shannon can flush out a nice ride home from the 1,000, and he's got a really good turn of foot, this bloke, so we will take some holding out if that unveils.
Certainly an interesting race, that's for sure, Bomber. Don't know if our man got it too good here. $9 Hillview Bondi is not a bad price, but interesting small field of 9, but a very interesting field. So race number 3, horse number 8, Who's the Dad? Kevin Charles, driven by Shannon Svelko. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, he's a 2-unit bet, Morts. Hopefully they just keep the tempo on throughout, and he can just sail down the outside late.
Yep, I like it.
All right, that is race number 3. The next race we're going to look at happens to be race number 4. It's the Hoist Solutions August Cup. It's at Group 3 level, and it's over the 25.36 metres. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. Galactic Star opened up at $4.80, touched $5 into $3.30. And in the second line of betting, Mighty Ronaldo's been pretty solid at $3.70. Tenzing Bromac, it's been pretty solid at $2.30. Watching Our Coin, $81. Petronas Star, $26. Wild West, $18. The Mustang, $34. Prince of Pleasure at $14. Himself, $19. And Blitzen By, the only runner off the back line, at $81. Bomber, the August Cup. Team Bond has got a very strong hand here. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with Ronaldo first up. I thought he was exceptional, really, and Tenzing Bromac had all the favours there, and he won pretty comfortably in the end. But Ronaldo, given he was first up and he did lock wheels momentarily halfway around the corner, I don't think he was ever going to run past the leader, but he would have finished a touch closer. So second up here, Junior's got a few options. I think he'll probably have to just hold his position early, and if he can land 1 by 2 or even better 1 by 1 on the back of, maybe a Tenzing Bromac or himself when he comes around, then, I think he's going to take a lot of holding out late.
I think you're right, Bomber. I think you're right.
I hope for both our sakes.
So he jumped off the train last week and now he's back on.
Yeah, he's back on, Bomber. That's what we like to see.
I jumped off onto the winner, so that's not so bad, Brad.
No, well, I'm talking about, that was the week before. What about last week?
Last week?
Yeah.
Sorry, off your bloke. Yeah,
you jumped off Mortz's last week. The week before was okay on the winner.
So we can say we're 1-1.
Yeah.
We'll go into the tiebreaker.
into the side. You stuck with him.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting race. The Hoist Solutions August Cup. Galactic Stars drawn the 1. The Bond camp have indicated that going to lead, so makes it interesting. Galactic Star leading. How do you see the rest of the map there then, Bomber?
Yeah, I thought Galactic Star would hold up early. I'm not 100% convinced he'll hold the whole way, but he may do. I hope he does. And I just think, Ronaldo just sits 1 by 1, 1 by 2, and we all know what a great turn of foot he's got. Obviously, Bond's having the 4 runners in the race is a bit of a scary prospect, but his turn of foot is just too much for them late if he gets the right run, I think.
Yeah, very good field. So be a cracking race. Race number 4, horse number 2, Mighty Ronaldo for Justin Prentice and Gary Hall Jr. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
just the 1 unit bet only. I'm just cautious of the Bonds getting the opportunity to sort of dictate the race. But I think with even luck he'll be winning Ronaldo.
All right, that is the August Cup, which is the co-feature tomorrow night. Time to take a break, Morts. Last week, you mentioned you thought Trooping of the Colour was a really good chance. Tell you what, I thought he was a real good chance halfway through the run. I thought, you might have...
Just sat right behind the... Yeah, absolutely.
This, but just wasn't quite good enough. And as you mentioned, She's Our Hope, brilliantly rated by Chris Lewis, went hard early, like for the lead time, but was too strong in the end.
Oh, great drive. Really good drive.
Yeah.
Good, very good form.
Yeah.
Chris Lewis.
So She's Our Hope. She might be pushing forward to those big mares races at the end of the year. Let's go to the break and listen to She's Our Hope winning all the way in the first race last week.
Shaz is out there 3 wide. Naming lights going around her with Henrik Larsen. And over on the inside is High Tommy. It's She's Our Hope holding Cordero into the straight. He's trying to knuckle down. She's Our Hope in front of Cordero, Trooping of the Colour. Simply Shaz is fourth, but She's Our Hope. Lewis all the way with She's Our Hope 3/4. Cordero, Trooping of the Colour, 2 lengths.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Velocipede nearly a length now to Luca Pello, 1.5. Stapleton, Barbados on the turn. Rolling Fire is trying to wear down Rocket City. Rolling Fire on the outside gains the advantage on Rocket City. Velocipede to the outside. Rolling Fire had hit the lead. He's a half a length in front on Rocket City, and Rolling Fire rolls on with the wins. It's another one for Rolling Fire over Rocket City.
Yeah, Morts, we had to play it. Hey, everyone jumped off. You were supremely confident. Hayden almost got it right. Bomber was way off the mark.
Absolutely way off.
They all jumped off though, Morts. That's the main thing.
After a bit of coaching, but he was great, the big fella on Friday night, and it was good to see. Good celebrations on track and off track. So
it certainly was,
and
was I think speaking of JP, he's going to go for a just a little light let off, and then he'll come back for the Battle of Bunbury, and then the Western Gateway and Derby. Since he's not,
that's right. He's not a Westbred, so he's not eligible for that. But he's had 4 starts this time back in for 4 wins. So,
yes. Yeah.
So
four out of 4 this time.
Little freshen up before the big ones.
6 out of 7 for the year, Morts, which is good. It's paid a few bills.
Has.
And then some.
Has. No, that's good. Bit of a freshen up before the big races. So.
Yeah. And
going to need it because the 3-year-olds are just mind-blowing this year.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So it'd be interesting. I listened to Matty Young's show during the week, and I think Russell had him sort of in that top 5, which is probably hard to argue with on his current form.
Yeah.
Because we've got Mr. Smarty that we haven't seen for a little bit, and Never Ending at a Trial, which we'll listen to a little bit later on, ready to come back in magnificent order. And you got a couple of, like Dylan and Aiden have got a couple that went really well in that Pearl Classic 3-year-old that have had a little break coming into the big 3-year-old races now. So
Skylord and
Skylord as well. Yeah, certainly he's got to play a big part, and he's
plenty of good ones around.
Set for the Westbred Skylord.
Yeah.
So, that was the last. I had to wait for the last race, Morts.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway,
a bit brutal, but it was certainly worth the wait.
Yeah. Now, this segment of Morts is brought to you by Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day.
They do, and this weekend, because they've got 15% off the big large screen TCL TVs, that means an RAC member gets 20%. 15 plus 5, so pretty hard to beat. Get into your local Retrovision store today.
Yeah. Our good mate Simon Miller, the horse trainer, with Amelia's Jewel coming back and trialling Super during the week as well. He was there on Friday night celebrating harder than everyone else. I'm surprised he didn't come and buy another wine fridge off you.
He certainly gave Retrovision a big push on the night, which was good of him, but...
it was a good night all round. All right,
was.
Let's get in the next race. We got a preview, which is the 9th race, which is the HTA, setting new standards in hoisting, which is over the 2130 metres, and we got the one Radasi at $2.90, Carrera Mac at $14, Amazing American $6.50, 5 Bangles $14, Euston Fire $61, G Smith $31. Major Overs 260 in favourite, Alterette 650, and Disco Under Fire at $12. Bomber, race number 9. What do you got for us here?
Yeah, pretty keen, this guy. I thought Radley would kick through and lead, and I can't see too many challenges early on. I think he got a pretty easy time of it, and his record when racing up on the speed's outstanding, and with Chris Lewis calling the shots, he'll be rated to perfection, and given he's capable of reeling off a 57 last half, I think it'll make it pretty difficult for those behind. I'm finding it really hard to find a way for him to be beat.
Got to be a mistake here.
Yeah,
got to be a mistake.
What price we got?
$18 Major Overs.
Okay.
Got to be a problem. Got to be an alignment problem with this week's, because it cannot be that bad, surely. Bomber. Radley, race number 9, horse number 1, Deborah Lewis, and as we said earlier on, Chris Lewis in outstanding driving form, just going absolutely beautifully at the moment. What's our staking plan for that one?
Yeah, he's the best of the night for me. I've got him leading and winning a 3-unit bet.
Oh, I like it.
Okay. Radley,
I like it.
3-unit bet for Radley. And we're going to finish the night with the last race. We're going to preview Hoist Talk Australia. It's the Division 2 over the 25-36 metres. And let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. Simply Shaz at 320, Brookie's Jet at 31, Regal Cheval at 270, Henwood Bay 750. Name in Lights $21, Walsh $34, Beat City $250 in favourite, and Crowded Reactor at $51. Beat City the favourite, drawn wide at $250, just ahead of Regal Cheval at $270. Bomber, what did you think of the last?
Yeah, I think he's found a nice race. Beat City. I can see Regal Cheval burning straight at the top here. I don't think Simply Shaz can go with him, and that leaves Beat City with a couple of options over the longer trip. Regal Cheval took the sit last time, but that was on a stablemate, so that probably won't happen. But I still think Beat City can head to the breeze regardless. He's not no fear of racing in the breeze, and in fact he sat outside Regal Cheval over the 21.30 and out-toughed him about 12 months ago. So I'd suggest he's going just as well as then, and Regal Cheval probably not quite up to that form. So yeah, I think he can sit in the breeze and get the job done if need be.
Couldn't agree more, Bomber. Couldn't agree more. Been waiting for this bloke to get the right race. He's been performing reasonably well, but you knew he just had to get the right field, and I think he strikes it on Friday night for the very powerful Michael Young stable, driven by Madison Brown. Race 10, number 7, Beat City. What's the
staking plan?
Staking plan, that's the one, Michael. What's the staking plan there, Bomber?
Geez, I could nearly increase it after the confidence you're showing there, Mort. But, no, 2-unit bet to finish off. I fully agree with you there. He just looks to have found the right race, I think.
Yep.
All right. Good way to finish off last. Love backing the last winner like we did last week, Morts. Bomber. Have you got a multi for us?
Just be gentle on Bomber. He had a pretty tough weekend. Then his footy team got absolutely our footy team got absolutely touched up on the weekend. So, and then he had some mug Carlton supporter absolutely giving it to him over SMS all weekend too. So
that's why you don't give out your number, Bomber.
No, actually, I don't. I'm looking forward to the final series when Carlton go out in first game. So no, don't worry. The number's well and truly entrenched in the phone, ready to hit back.
Like you said, Bomber, the only good thing with Carlton being in the finals is you've got somebody to barrack for. That's whoever's playing them. Whoever's playing them. Yep, agree.
Now, have you got a multi for us, Bomber?
I thought just a double this week, both around the sort of 2s on mark, and that was race 5, number 1, Waverider. I think he just leads and wins. And then we go over to our favourite mare in race 8, number 9, August Moon. She's just in beast mode at the moment, and I think Junior can just drive her with the confidence he has been, and she'll be winning as well. The current price of around $1.55 looks a gift to me.
Yeah, $1.45 into $1.55, $2.24 is the multi on Waverider into August Moon, which
verging on free stuff there, I think.
Yes, they're both outstanding propositions, and both when you couple them up, the $2.24 looks okay. Bomber, thanks for your time. You're still ahead in our NRL tipping competition. Although you jumped off the Knights last week.
Changed my tip 5 minutes before the game, and I may well have cost myself the comp.
Yeah, after
I've
10...
maintained that one lead, but 2 would have been very handy.
Yeah, after 10 minutes you're in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
Which way are you going this week, Cronulla or the mighty Newcastle Knights?
Oh, I think I've got to go. I've got to jump back to the Knights.
Yeah.
Good form, very good form.
Yeah. The blue and red, which is the great Rolling Fires colours as well. So
just keep throwing it out there.
Geez, I was going to say he's got a bit of a run tonight. That's for sure.
All right, Bomber. Thanks for your time. We're not here next week. The great Hayden King, are you gonna do the show next week?
Yep. If I'm able armed, I'll be here.
Yeah, yep. You can do it on one arm, Bomber. So he'll be in here to take you through the preview next week. But thanks for your time. Good luck, and good luck next week as well.
You too, guys. Thanks very much.
Good on you, Scott Bomber Hill. Well, that's what happens when you go away, Morts. Go away from the strength. All right. Now there's a couple of good performances. Now, you're so fine. Hasn't he continued to improve and improve and improve every time he steps out?
Certainly has. I remember when they brought him across from New Zealand. Yeah. He raced in that, was it the race with a coot?
In the Jewels.
Yeah, and he was 3 wide and thought he looks like a very nice type. Came across and had a couple of problems, but since he's come back, he's just continued.
Yeah, well, he had a long time off after that as well. Like after his 2-year-old campaign, did he missed? Yeah, he's come over and then he's missed a lot of racing. December 2021, and then we didn't see him again till July 2023. So he had 18 months away from the racetrack. But
and he's just come back and he's just improved every start. So no, he's a real nice racehorse.
And look like he's on his way to Cups class.
Yep.
And he beat a couple that are aiming towards that as well in watching our coin and steal the show. And this time he wasn't in front. You're so fine. He's had to come from the trailing position, but Junior produced him at the right time, and he just was too strong in the end.
So fine and still the show 4 deep as Watching Our Coin leads at the turn from awaiting instructions behind him. Ardent's Horizon the outside. You're So Fine is 3 deep. 4 deep is still the show. Watching Our Coin joined by You're So Fine. He's striding up strongly. You're So Fine goes to the lead from Watching Our Coin, and You're So Fine. You're So Fine wins another one over awaiting instructions and still the show.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Captain 6 on well. Top of the lane, in front. It is Never Ending, out by about a half length. Now 3/4, now on the full length, and is going to cruise away here, Never Ending, and go on and win nicely. Never Ending, Tantabiddy all as well. Never Ending wins by about 7 metres at the line. 26.4, goodness gracious, it flew home untouched. Second place was Tantabiddy.
Yeah, it was the perfect trial for Never Ending, who's on his way back to the racetrack, getting ready for the 3-year-old Westbred, and still... Well, he's undefeated. 9 from 9. And Morts, he sat last in the trial. Junior at the bell, came and sat outside Tantabiddy. 28.3 down the back and home in 26.4. And Junior had a good hold.
Yeah, well, they went the first part in 65 or something like that. So, found a bit of clear air on the way home and cleaned the pipes out. It was good. Yeah, very.
How far away from a race for him, do you
think?
I
would think possibly next Friday night.
Next Friday night, 3-year-old?
And then back up possibly the week after in the Westbred Classic.
Yeah, the Westbred.
Yeah. Okay. But ideally have that one run before he goes in off the back of a trial, and then the Westbred Classic. So
he looks good.
Yeah, no, he does. The bosses seemed happy with him, so... Yeah, that's the most important thing.
He's certainly once again the horse to beat coming into these big races, unbeaten 9 from 9, and
some very good, very talented 3-year-olds. So
no doubt,
going to be a fascinating 3-year-old. The balance of the 3-year-old season is going to be fascinating, Michael. Some great horses.
No, they are very good. Be interesting to see whether. if anyone's got any New Zealand horses that have come over and been produced, like we've seen Mr. Smarty, if he's ready to go. And obviously Never Ending, but as you said, Sky Lord, and then, you know, the horses that were in the
Rolling Fire.
Yeah, that were in the Pearl, and then Rolling Fire. So
some great horses going around. Looking forward to it.
Yep, indeed. All right, Bayswater Mazda sponsors this segment. Morts, driving is better on a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads, and what a team they are.
They are in the new CX60.
Yeah.
If you want to see driving excellence, Michael, go and have a look at one of those. They are an outstanding automobile, and there's no better place. They're in stock at Bayswater Mazda, corner of Garrett Road and Guildford Road in Bayswater.
Plenty of room in those CX60s, just magnificent cars, the new ones.
Absolutely
just
outstanding.
Hot off the latest model that Mazda's produced, and they're very, very good.
Yeah, we had a CX3, went to a CX30, and now the CX60. It's a little bit bigger inside and beautiful car, and it's a great coffee and great service down there at Bayswater Mazda.
No better place to look after you, and it's Bayswater Mazda. All right, we've time to get the country tips with Hayden King, and as we've said, he's under duress.
You've got a clipped wing.
The dislocated shoulder. You're pressing all the buttons, though.
Yeah, well, luckily, it only requires the attention of one hand at a time. It's been pretty sore during this show, though. It's not good. Yeah. I was Googling it, and it says recovery time.
What were you doing?
I wasn't Googling this, no. I was Googling the recuperation period for the injury, and it said 12 to 16 weeks, which I'm not very happy about. That doesn't sound very good.
No.
Yeah, does seem a long time.
Seems a long time.
Surely I can get it going before then.
Don't always believe Dr. Google. So it does seem a long time, because when you break it, it's it's like 12 weeks. So
sometimes less, sometimes 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, Emily's been out for quite some time. She had to have the operation, and that's put it further back. But if you don't need the operation on the collarbone, they're usually 6 weeks. So you must have really done some damage if you must have 12.
Must have lined you up good and proper.
Yeah.
Did you?
Do you get rehab? Do you get rehab from? From the powerful Michael Young stable? Do you get to go down there and get?
I should go out on the sand track and do bear crawls or something. That'll get it going.
Did you? You didn't happen to give the big fella a bit of lip?
I was too busy trying not to die. Hobbled off the ground, and then
no. But before he lined you up, you weren't.
No, you know me, Morts. I'm a pacifist.
I'm just asking.
I'm a very agreeable man.
But sometimes when you walk across that white line, some people do get that white line fever, and I just thought I'd check to make sure you hadn't given the big fella.
I'm a gentleman.
Did you win the game?
No. Well, that's what I found out, because it happened early in the second quarter, and then I went off to hospital and got the green whistle going.
Eddie was very worried. He sent through the message with smile.
Well, he didn't message me. He clearly wasn't that worried.
No, with laughing faces.
Oh.
So he was very concerned about your... And good to see the trainer didn't worry about you, but made sure he filmed it to send to people.
Yeah, well...
But you're here, see, and that's commitment, Morts.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
You can't keep me away.
No. You just...
Yeah, but you raise a good point. Like, Google isn't always the best diagnosis. You could say, I've got a headache, and it diagnoses you with cancer and erectile dysfunction or something. So,
neither of which are good. So,
do you know from experience?
This has gone downhill very quickly.
It certainly has.
We're trying to find a winner.
Yes.
At Central.
Can we have some winners at Central this week, please?
You may.
And don't believe whatever's on the net. Okay. It's not true.
Right.
Noted. Okay, Kellerberrin Sunday.
Yep.
Race 2 is my first one, number 4, Constellation Jewel. Limited horse, limited race. This horse has actually been going okay, though. Galloped 2 starts ago at Kellerberrin, then flashed home to finish an encouraging second, and the run at Pinjarra Monday was okay. I could see him potentially playing a part in a race like this at a price. Race 2, number 4, Constellation Jewel. Follow that with race 3, number 4, Sanford Bart, another horse I've had my eye on. He ran encouragingly at Kellerberrin recently, and his form since has been good as well. The run at Narrogin, he was closing off pretty well in 157.7 after getting a little way back on the pegs there. I could see him playing a part at odds. Race 3, number 4. Race 4, number 10, Karuba. Drop in grade for her. She goes out to Kellerberrin and strikes a winnable race. The barrier doesn't help her, but she's actually been going really quite well the last month or two, Karuba. So despite that, I can see her being in the finish. Race 4, number 10, and race 5, number 9, Pink Parade. Similar vein to the other three, is a horse that's been knocking on the door to win one, has been encouraging, ran a good race there at Kellerberrin 2 starts ago, and then boxed on really solidly at Northam last Saturday from the breeze. So I could see her getting a softer run and being in the money here. Race 5, number 9, Pink Parade.
All right, that's Kellerberrin. So races 2, 3, 4 and 5.
Yep.
The tips. The first race, Kellerberrin, is 12.55. And if you can't make it out there, it'll be on Sky 2. Pinjarra Monday, we have 9 races, and the first at 12.35. And then back to Gloucester Park on Tuesday with 8 races, the first at 5.20. So
it was a big meeting at Narrogin last Tuesday.
Yeah.
9, I think it was 9 races.
And Pinjarra Monday, I think it was 10 races.
Big meeting.
Yeah. Your trainer had a long day. He had one in the second and one in the 8th.
always impresses him.
But yeah, so yeah, all right. Kellerberrin should be a good meeting Sunday, and then the Renaissance Man meeting at Pinjarra, or the meeting at Pinjarra named after a Renaissance Man, who's a double Westbred standing here in WA.
Who's your favourite Renaissance Man?
And
don't give me something like
it'd be one of the
progenies.
I was going to say it'd be one of the armour horses, because they got some good Renaissance Man.
No, I mean like Da Vinci or Michelangelo,
any of those through the
Donatello,
the golden period. No,
the Ninja Turtles.
The Ninja Turtles.
Turtles,
Yeah. Well, of course. If you're a Renaissance man, you can do a lot of things as well. They say that. Mort's is a Renaissance man.
I'm waiting for my Renaissance.
Well, after you get your shoulder fixed.
Yeah.
That will be my literal Renaissance. I'll become a Lazarus.
Geez, he's on the ball. That the shoulder hasn't dulled any of his sharpness.
Not at all. Giving him more time to think.
Which can only be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Especially if you're Googling.
Yeah.
A little bit of knowledge can be dangerous if you're Googling.
Yeah.
On Tuesday at Gloucester Park, I think Michael Young will have a really good night. I think he could get 4 from 4.
4 from 4?
Okay.
And one of the horses that Bomber likes tomorrow night, Beat City, can do the double. Could win again on Tuesday.
Okay.
Draws gate number 2. Should roll to the front. Be pretty hard to beat. Street Hawks in the race, but out in front, Beat City would be a pretty tough bunny to catch.
Yep.
There's a couple of nice races.
Well, actually, I say Michael will have a good night. It'll be Kiara because she does everything. Michael doesn't even go on Tuesdays, so.
Sounds like we've bit of a tiff with the trainer.
Yeah. So that's a good race on Tuesday. Brookie's Jet Beat City, and a few that are running on Friday nights that are backing up, and there's a few good races. And Luca Pello might get his chance after dropping back in grade to a Tuesday and drawing one.
Quite possible.
So yeah, all right, Hayden, speedy recovery.
Thanks.
Good luck for next week. We'll see if we can get Glen Moore to support you. Hey.
Yeah.
The great Silky.
Yep,
see if he can do the
good.
double. Back up on the Friday morning preview with the boys. Thanks for your time. Speedy recovery.
Thank you.
Morts, thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow night with Mighty Ronaldo and Never Ending. Hopefully the week after if he's ready to go.
Yeah.
It should be. It's going to be a great race tomorrow night for your boy.
Yeah, looking forward to it. 25.36, which is one of my favourite distances at Gloucester Park, and some good form horses in there, and our bloke who's come back reasonably well. So they'll certainly know he's in the race, and it should be good spectacle.
Yeah, sure is. All right. Thanks, Morts. Thanks for your time. Good luck, as I said. Thanks for everyone for listening. Until next week, bye for now.